Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today it might seem different because I'm not in Rome's as I usually am. Today I'm going to be making a tier list of a lot of IO games that I've played recently. This will be kind of a shorter video because there's only a few I have to cover. But these ones are the ones I played the most. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. First up on the list, we have Rome's IO, right? I've been making content about this. It's really good for content, and it's overall really addicting and really fun. So I'm gonna put this in S tier because it's one of my favorite IO games that I play at the moment. Next up, we have Moo IO, which this is actually a really fun game. You can see it here on the screen. You basically go around and try to kill things and eat things, but it's like two-dimensional and it's very simple and fun, like most IO games. The only problem with this game is that it's like really infested with hackers, me being one of them at some point. But it's really fun in general, and so I would actually recommend this. For that, I think this is going to go in A tier. Number three, we have Paper IO. Paper IO seems pretty fun, but you get really bored of it really easily. I used to play this quite a bit on my phone, but it gets annoying and boring, and you don't want to play it for a long, long time. I don't know how they still have players because like everybody has had a run in with this game and they didn't like it. So for that reason, it's going in C tier. The next one we have to rate is Deep IO. So this one, I haven't done content on it yet, but I would like to be doing some content on it. And it's actually really fun to play. It's close to Rome's IO. You level up and choose the animal that you want at the top. And there's different habitats that you can swim into, and it's basically just a food survival system. So for that, it's going into A tier. I also really like the game in general, and I used to play it a lot in like 2020. So the next IO game we have to rate is Dig Dig IO. I used to play this one actually a lot, but it gets boring just like Paper IO, because number one, yeah, you get these massive guys and they just come after you, which is not very fun. And then you're just going around in circles digging the same dirt over and over and over again, trying to get a higher score, which is fun if you're like really high up there, like 1 million. But I'm not, so for that reason, it is going in B tier because it's not as bad as Paper IO, but it's also not more fun than one of these games. Next up is Taming IO. I never really played this, but I've heard from a lot of people that it's really fun. So I'm gonna put that in B tier just because of other people's experiences. Along with this, we have Starve IO. I'm pretty sure it's like the same premise of Taming IO, but you're like starving, hence the name. This one, when I was getting that screenshot for the tier list, it seemed like really janky. But there was a nice person on there. He was like, "Oh, are you new?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get a thumbnail." Um, which is not really a thumbnail, but still, it's a screenshot. So I'm gonna put that in B tier as well because the people were nice, but it didn't seem very cool of a game. Next up, we have Zombs.io. This one I've actually been going back to a little bit recently. It's actually really fun to play. The only problem is that it gets really complicated as you get late game. Instead of just being like a fun game to play, you kind of got to worry about strategies and stuff like that because you play it for fun a few times and then you're like, oh, how far can I get? How many waves can I get to? But I think it's really, really fun. And that you can also have like free chat and stuff like that. So I'm putting that in A tier. The next game we have is Agar.io. I didn't put its counterpart, which is Goda.io, because I'm pretty sure this one encompasses the both of them. But this one's pretty fun. I will say that, but it gets boring like the rest. I'm a little bit biased in favor of this game because it's something that's not blocked at my school, so I just play it a lot. Um, But now that school's out and like I'm trying to play different games, this one is not something I go to. So I'm gonna put this in C tier. There's also a lot of people who grind that game way too much, which does not make it a fun experience. All right, next up we have Slither.io. I'm sure everybody here that's watching this video has played Slither.io at least like 5 times in their life. But that 5 times is the limit because nobody avidly plays this game. Because it gets old so quick. Like you can play it for 1 minute at a time and then you're like bored of it already. For this reason, it's going in D tier. All right, Copter.io. This one is really good, and I've done content on this before, which makes it good automatically. So this one's going in S tier. If you haven't seen gameplay, go watch my first video. It's not the best, but it shows you around the game. So it's like a helicopter where you shoot around and destroy little boxes and buildings and stuff like that. And you level up until you can defeat the king, which is basically the entire point. Next up, we have Floor.io. I'm not going to go through the pain to get this tutorial out of here because I did that to get the screenshot on the tier list, and it took like half hour to get the tutorial out of the way. But yeah, it'll just be there. So basically, you go around. You're a flower, like the name says, Floor.io, and you kill things like bugs and stuff like that, and other players, and you collect petals, and stuff like that. But the thing is, if you click on these, it gets really complicated. Like you can start crafting petals, and you can learn skills and stuff like that. I wasn't aware that they had all that stuff until like very recently, because when the game first came out, it was advertised a lot on the other IO games, which made me want to play it. And then I was like, oh, this is a nice simple game. So I used to like it, but now it's not very good anymore because of how complicated I think it is now. I'm putting that in C tier. Also, I haven't played it in a while. All right, next up we have Diepio or Diep. I don't even know what you call it, but this one you're a tank and you shoot around. It has a bunch of different game modes. This one I would assume it's like a classic IO game because it's been around for a while, and a lot of people still play it. This one doesn't get boring like Paper.io or Slither.io, so I'm gonna put this in A tier with these three. All right, and then last and certainly least, we have Mope.io. I'm still scarred from when I had to make a video about Mope, and I'm putting this in D tier immediately. There's no question about that. I can't stand the mushrooms, kind of like Rome's, and everything's kind of janky as well. So I don't really like that. But yeah, this is my completed tier list. If you disagree or you want to tell me your opinions, just leave that in the comments. But with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.